Late 90s and early 2000s television is what shaped the people that Chanel and I are today. Like how if we ever see a purple talking dog running in fear, we're gonna run with him, or how we could get away with being normal girls by day and international pop stars by night by wearing an ill-fitted wig. All jokes aside, the shows we watched back then had such an impact on our lives now that we decided to take it back and talk about them. So enjoy, as well as get a little nostalgic, reminiscing about some of our, and maybe even your, favorite childhood shows. Hi, Chanel.
Hello, Cindy.
So, do you know what I really miss about, watching television?
What?
Like just shows that come out like every day? Listening to their theme songs.
Oh.
I don't know. Like we played games a couple of times, but like on TikTok, they have guess that theme song. And we played, shows theme songs used to be so distinctive and unique to the show that even with like the first like note, you could be able to tell exactly what show that was and like what you're getting into. Do you have like a song or like a show that like now you recite, or like if you heard it like on the side of the street or on a ringtone, you would just know immediately it was that show?
I feel like the most classic one, because it was made to make children scream it before the show starts. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. That one?
Yes.
Wild.
Yep. I didn't even know where you were gonna go, but yeah, that one, top tier. For me, the one song that I still to this day could recite is the Danny Phantom theme song.
Oh, that one's good.
That one is really
good. That song makes you wanna.
Yes. Or one that is actually used a lot for ringtones. Do 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 do.
What's the stitch?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually really love that one because again, it's a couple of beats, like beeps, right?
And you
something
immediately know what it is.
Insignificant if you've never seen the show, but if you've seen it, it's like, what's the stitch? Hey Wade, what's the stitch? Like, what do I gotta do? Who do I need to fight? What is his name? Draken? Shigo?
Yeah.
Whatever their names are. Who do I gotta punch?
Yep.
Right. So I feel as though when it comes to like TV shows and stuff, that's what I miss the most about watching things now, because it's like certain shows, their theme songs are too long.
Because we could talk about because that's a show we've been addicted to.
Exactly what I'm listening or talking about right now.
That's a trend that I hate, when they take a popular song and then they slow it down and they make it creepy.
Oh, it's supposed to be faster paced?
Yeah.
I've actually never heard the song before.
Because that song is like not a scary song. It's like normally a joyous song. Hey, sera, whatever will be, will be.
Oh.
It's sung by a woman, the whole nine.
No idea.
When I was just a little boy, and then we go.
Yes. And you're more inclined to skip.
Yeah.
Like, I feel as though as well, the theme songs are longer, or maybe they were always long, but if they feel a lot longer. And
and you don't want to sit there and like sing along with
not
it
at
anymore.
all. So I just
at least for
move on,
portion
right?
of shows. Yeah.
So a lot of these new shows, like we just watched Alex Cross, right? And that has a whole opening number. I wouldn't be able to tell you, right?
Nope.
And I think that's what I miss a lot about older TV is I feel like a lot more intention was put into the songs, right? Like Danny Phantom tells you exactly what the show is about in the song. Like if you sing it, I'm telling you exactly what the show is. And then same thing with Kim Possible. I'm your basic average girl. I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me because I'm Kim Possible. Right? So we get introduced to who she is, what she does in the theme song, and it's catchy.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a lot of older television held on to was like, let me explain to you. It's like an elevator pitch.
Yes.
I'm giving you
even along those lines, because we're talking about a lot of children's shows, so I can see like it's an adult show. Did you ever watch Three's Companies back in the day?
Mm-mm.
First of all, very, very good show. Hilarious. And it's about, three people living in a flat together, an apartment. Why did I say flat? I guess someone's infecting me with the British disease. Damn. Anyways, it's a man and two women living together. So in the 70s or whenever that show came out, that was scandalous.
Right.
But the song, it's like Take a look at the door.
I feel like I've heard this
People waiting for you. So it was like, it still gave you the whole plot and let you know what you were watching. And you want to sit there and sing the entire thing.
What's the one? The Nanny.
The Nanny.
That's another one as
that
well.
One's an excellent example.
Yes.
She was looking at when her boyfriend kicked her out on one of those crushing scenes. Like, okay, give me something. I want to sit there and go.
Maybe that's what I'm missing. I'm just missing shows telling me what the show is about in the opening number.
You know, just give us a little, because even all the new shows we watch, it's just like an instrumental, which is fine. But then the ones that actually have songs, it's like, okay, it's not giving me anything.
Yes. But anyway, the main reason why I wanted, we were going to have this episode is because we were having a long conversation about how it seems like the shows we grew up on were so instrumental and fundamental to who we are today, and we cannot say the same a lot about the shows that we have now. It just seems like it's a completely different realm and different world that we live in when it comes to the TV shows. So we wanted to kind of take a look back on the shows that kind of made us who we are and take a deep dive, I guess, into some of those shows, because you were saying that a lot of your humor was based off of the shows that you watched. And in all honesty, when we did have these conversations, I'm not gonna even front, it makes sense.
It makes sense. I used to watch some unhinged shows.
Yes. So I think it'd be fun to kind of go down memory lane, talk about some of our favorite shows, maybe go in a little bit of the shows that were instrumental to who we are, and then I don't know, whatever shows that come up. So this time, because I always say I wish I was more prepared, I'm coming prepared. So for the listeners, I have my phone that has a list of shows, and I think we should go through, I guess, streaming platforms. What do you call them? Streaming platforms?
Channels.
Back in the day. Gosh.
Channels. She says streaming platforms. TV channels. We don't watch cable anymore.
Yeah. Cable is a dying breed. So I think we have Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and then Cartoon Network, at least for me, which were the main channels that I watched, plus some side ones. Do you want to start with those?
Yeah.
So you pick Disney, Nick, or Cartoon Network?
You see, I feel like we should save the best for last, which is Cartoon Network.
100%.
So we can start with the worst one, in my opinion, which is Disney.
Okay. Interesting. Well, actually, that's fair. That's valid. So I'm pulled up. It says top 2000 picks. I think I also have 90s as well.
Yeah.
So let's get to 90s first. 90s. Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know this was 2000s. Ooh, okay. So this is actually 2000s because even though I thought I was prepared, I'm not prepared. I have 2000s Disney kid-friendly cartoons.
Okay.
So let's go through. We have The Proud Family.
Period.
Quality. Gargoyles. Kim Possible. Wizards of Waverly Place. Even Stevens. Recess. American Dragon. Jake Long, which I'm surprised only had 2 seasons.
I'm not surprised at that.
I thought it was longer.
No.
Okay. Timon and Pumbaa. That's So Raven.
Ooh.
The Emperor's New School.
That movie though?
Yes. But the TV
Excellent
show?
movie. I never
I watched a TV show. It lost the plot. The Replacements.
Oh wow.
Life with Derek.
Oh god.
Teacher's Pet, which I've never seen. I don't remember it.
That one.
Roly Poly. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Ooh,
The Sweet Life on Deck.
Sweet Life on Deck.
Lilo and Stitch.
Of course.
Hannah Montana.
Of course.
Doug. Lizzie McGuire. Out of the Box. Phil the Future. Corey in the House. And the list goes on. And on and on.
You see, I have to give an honorable mention to Dave the Barbarian because that is my favorite.
Which I'm judging you so hard because Disney why would that be? Show. Okay, please explain to me and explain to the audience first what Dave the Barbarian is about, right? And then please explain to me why that is your favorite show.
Okay, so here's the premise, right? So there's Dave.
Yeah, and let me guess. He's a barbarian. Yeah,
yes,
crazy.
Exactly. And so it's like medieval times. He has like a younger sister. He has an older sister. The older sister is like the princess.
Okay.
And then the younger sister, she's like feral for some reason. And so she's like a little cave woman, child. And so she's trifling. And then they also have like a little pet that's a dragon. but it doesn't have any wings or something.
Okay.
And it just kind of like farts around. I don't know. And then their dad is like the king of the village. I think they had a mom who was the queen. I don't really remember. But they just run around doing like adventures. And my favorite thing about that show is it's hilarious. Like they would just get into the weirdest things ever. And there was like an announcer with like an accent. And the announcer just made everything 2 times funnier. I promise. We are going to watch an episode one of these days.
So here's the thing. I watched the show.
Okay.
I watched it. I just didn't like it.
It's so good.
I found it. I just found it to be not my type of show.
No, say what you were going to say with your chest.
I found it brain numbing.
Oh, I can see that.
Brain numbing. And I never
so good.
I never understood the purpose of it.
It's hilarious.
I never understood what was the ultimate outcome.
Yeah, I don't think that's a show you watch for plot. That's a show you watch to just laugh.
See, but I wanted plot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't giving plot.
That's not giving plot.
And so I was just like, this is not a show for me.
It's not giving plot.
Yeah.
I think they did have some like storylines in there. I don't even remember them. But it's not a plot show. It's not a plot. Ha ha hee hee show.
You know, it kind of gave me, what is it? Did you watch Brandy and Mr. Whiskers? But that show I found out ultimately did have a plot, but
that one I did not like.
I didn't really like it either. I think, okay, here's a thing about now that I didn't really get in like when I was younger. A lot of shows did actually have plot, but you had to catch them. You had to watch them
in order.
Right? Because like using From as an example, right? It's on Amazon Prime and it listed out for us like every single season. The episodes are like ranked from the first to the last for every season. And you can kind of progress through. So it kind of builds up on points that you had from the past. With like streaming like on Disney Channel and a lot of these shows, they would just be dropping. Sometimes like you wouldn't even know when they dropped, right? Because you would have to be like glued to your television to know when all these shows would drop. So I would just catch episodes here and there. And then sometimes they'd be like repeaters, like repeating of episodes. So a lot of shows I just assumed were not meant to have plot because it never felt like they had plot because I was always being inserted in like the middle. And sometimes it was like, the plot would come and just like, but it'd be a byproduct, right? Because with Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, Brandy was like a toy dog or like, not a toy dog, but like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she was like a Labrador or something.
She was like a Labrador, but she came like her owner was very well off and she was like cargo that fell out of the plane in the middle of the jungle, right? And so the main thing was like, she's trying to go home. So they would always have that like as the underlying, like she's trying to go home, but then all the like crazy stuff that she got into would be like the fluff on top, and that's the stuff that you would get distracted in. Yeah. So that's why maybe Dave the Barbarian does have plot.
It might have plot, but we'll find out.
But yeah, those are a lot of shows from there. I think some of my favorites from Disney, I gotta give the Proud Family. The
freaking, I still do the, you know, the white girl dance.
The Peanut movie.
The freaking Peanuts.
The Peanuts.
Someone dressed up like that for Halloween.
I saw that.
That was crazy.
Hilarious. Have you seen the remake? They brought the Proud Family back.
No, I haven't seen it. That side told me everything I need to know.
Yes and no.
Oh.
Because it's a sigh because it's like nostalgic but not. Right? Because they brought back Kyla Pratt is the voice of Penny Proud, right? And I think a lot of the voice actors did end up coming back. And in the essence, it is the Proud Family. But again, I think the sigh is more so I've grown out of it. Yeah. Right? Like I'm no longer the target demographic. Because like if I went to go watch the old Proud Family now, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't rewatched it. So I can't say for a fact, but I don't know if I'd be watching it from the point of nostalgia or from the point of like entertainment. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it happens whenever you bring a show back, you're going to try to gear it towards the current audience, which is like if the Proud Family is for like 13, 14-year-old girls back in the 90s, this remake is going to be for 13, 14-year-old girls in the 2020s. I'm not a 13, 14-year-old girl. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I miss the old Proud Family, but it's not necessarily saying the new one is bad. I just watch it and I miss the old Proud Family. Yeah. But that show for me, great theme song. Great theme song. Beyonce or Destiny's Child and Solange, you did your big one with that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about the new Proud Family. It's practically the same song, but it's not sung by Beyonce.
Okay.
And Destiny's Child and Solange. So I'm just like,
yeah.
it's like a lesser. Anyway, I could go on that. And I also really loved Kim Possible.
Yes.
From like the animated shows.
Very good.
Now, if we're talking about live action, ooh, That's So Raven.
That's So Raven was a solid show.
It's a concept that, again, only now it's remade, but I think it was such an original concept, for one. Two, the fact that your main character is a black woman, which I think was something really big in 90s Disney. Like, you don't really have a lot of shows that have a black person, let alone a black woman, being your, like, what is it,
main
titular character?
Yeah.
And so, and the whole concept, she can see into the future. Again, yes. On the theme songs that tell me what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, that one was good because Raven, she's hilarious.
Oh, hilarious. So funny.
The physical comedy, the plots that she would get herself into, and the fact that each time she tried to disprove her vision, it would come true.
Yep.
So funny.
Yep.
Just keeps giving.
Such a well thought out and well done show. Mm-hmm. Do you have any favorites outside of like Dave the Barbarian, more so for live action from Disney?
You see, another cartoon one came up, just to mention that one. Phineas and Ferb. Did you ever watch that show?
Oh my God. Was that Disney Channel?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh goodness.
That one's good.
Yeah, it has to be because I don't think it fits on
yeah.
And again, another song.
Their songs throughout the show were good.
AGLET.
I just like the way they dance. They would always be doing, there's a banana in my pants. Squirrels. Yeah. I got a platypus controlling me. Like, what? Who thinks of that?
That was such a good show. But again, back to the theme song. I'm pretty sure every single show that I really, really liked, the theme songs told me exactly what the show was going to be.
There's 104 days of summer vacation. Just stand there.
Yep, exactly. Oh my gosh, that was, but their songs were good. And I really think they ended it at the right time. I think they're trying to bring it back, though.
Oh, drama. Next summer.
I saw a TikTok where all the voice actors, they were able to get all the voice actors back. So all the original voice actors are going to be back to like bring up their roles. But I remember the reason why they canceled that show was because the creators were like, we don't want to become a show that like goes on for too long.
Yeah.
And like, they were like, we'd rather have people miss the show than people say, man, they should have ended that show last season.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to age them up or keep them the same age because they ended that show with them going to college. So I'm curious to know what type of like plot lines they're going to try to do now. Oh, look, Phineas and Ferb are in corporate America, and they hate the shackles of the man.
No more summer vacation.
Right, exactly. So that's such a good show.
But for
live
action, I did watch Wizards of Waverly Place. That one was good. Hannah Montana, of course. Solid. I also watched Shake It Up. That's what it's called, right? Shake It Up.
Yeah, the dance one.
That one, the dancing.
Looking back at it. Honestly, looking back at any show where they have like breakdancing,
it's always bad.
The kids are just flailing their arms.
And it's not the kids' fault. They give them choreography. Who's going to make look good? Like,
you know what that made me think of?
What?
Camp Rock.
This is Camp Rock. Like, what are you guys doing? Playing something good. Dun, 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 dun. Like, are you checking?
Yep.
And that's when we get into all the Disney Channel originals. Movies, because that's where they shine.
See, they did their big one with the originals.
The original movies.
Yes.
And so with the original movies, the one movie that really sticks in my brain is Smart House.
I loved Smart House.
That one was crazy because I was like, you got to get out of the house.
And you want to know something interesting? There's technology that is kind of like making Smart House. I have people who just go, Alexa, turn on living room lights.
Yeah.
And the lights just turn
living
on.
room lights on. And you're like,
And you're just like,
I've
Smart
seen
House.
this on TV before.
Yeah,
we gotta go.
Gotta be careful.
Yes.
But Smart House was a very good pick. I really liked Luck of the Irish.
That one was hilarious.
That one was hilarious. And then, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name, but it starred Allie and AJ, and it was like something bells, cowbells or something.
Yeah, cowbells.
That was something like that. That one to me seemed so random. The plot was very, very, very shaky.
Yes.
Very shaky, but I was just
entertaining.
like... Entertaining. Oh, and there was one with a figure skating or ice skating.
Yeah.
That one was also... Mwah. But yeah, I really do believe that where Disney Channel shined was the originals. Like that's where
High School Musical.
The High School Musical franchise came into play.
Yep.
And that's what I think literally set Disney apart from everywhere else. Because if you compare Disney to Nickelodeon and to Cartoon Network, I don't think Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network ever got one of their TV shows or movies to make it into a theater.
Oh, but they did.
They did?
The SpongeBob movie.
Oh my God!
That's drama.
That's drama. That is drama. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, and I think they got at least 2.
They got 2. Wait,
wow.
So do you have any more for Disney? Do you want to shift over to Nickelodeon?
I think that's a good segue. Let's switch over to Nickelodeon and see what we're working with here.
Let me see. Let me bring out my notes again.
Bring out the notes.
You know the little typing sound that they have for shows?
Yep.
Okay, so Nickelodeon shows from the 90s and 2000s, pulled up from Google, looking from sources across the web. We have The Amanda Show.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna make you pause through these because I know there's a lot and I'm gonna forget as we make it through.
Amanda
the
Show.
Amanda Show is my personality.
Amanda
Show. Bring out the dancing lobsters. Like what the hell?
That was so random. The lobsters are so random.
Who thinks of that? But my favorite bit that they would do on the Amanda Show is Moody Point.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful show, a beautiful love story. Where's that guy's toe? We'll never know.
I know. And then was it the mom that was stuck in a hot air balloon?
I think so. She's
Please,
like, hey,
I can't
I'm
get
still up here. Help.
Right.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
like, ma'am, are you just sedentary in one place?
She's just chilling. She's
Just
hanging
chilling.
out.
But yeah, Amanda Show, I think that was a lot of sketch comedy.
Yes.
Like, and that was, I think, what awakened for a lot of people their love for improv.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then before the Amanda Show, there was All That.
Yes.
Which was basically SNL, but children.
Yes. Again, sketch comedy.
Yes. Hilarious.
Yes. And a lot of like, I think All That is where they started because Amanda was first on All That.
Yep.
Keenan and Kel were also first on All That.
Yep.
And then Amanda got the Amanda Show. And then Keenan and Kel got Keenan and Kel.
And then later on, Drake and Josh.
Yep. So All That is kind of where it all began for a lot of people. And I think you could say the same thing about SNL, where a lot of your comedians and people and actors all were on SNL and they kind of started doing their own breakaway. So it was the kids' version of SNL. But those were quality shows.
Very quality.
So you mentioned Drake and Josh. That was second on the list. Yes. Also a good show. SpongeBob SquarePants, which led the segue.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants. Yay. Yeah. That, I think, revolutionized Nickelodeon. Like,
yes,
you cannot talk about Nickelodeon without talking about SpongeBob.
Yes.
And kind of like what I was saying before, SpongeBob is a really great example of a show that went from television and made its way into, like, the big screen.
Yep. And so I would say SpongeBob is probably my favorite off of Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Before we even get to the rest of the
Sandy
list.
Cheeks.
Sandy
I love
cheeks.
me some Sandy Cheeks.
Them cheeks are sandy, okay. But yeah, so good. Especially those first 4 seasons. Like, there's not much that's
prime
gonna
television.
compare to that.
The Krusty
My
Krab
entire
pizza is the pizza up a little. See, this is also
pizza.
Just a side, because I know we're going to do this for the rest of the episode. So many good songs came
So
from those shows.
many good songs.
And they're deeply ingrained in our brains.
Absolutely.
Deeply ingrained.
It's a part of all of our personalities at this point.
But anyway, I'm going to continue because I feel like as we go through the shows, I think you might change your favorite when you hear.
Let's see.
So next is the Fairly Odd Parents.
I do like me some Fairly Odd Parents.
That was good. Hey Arnold.
Oh, I want to say for Fairly Odd Parents, I recently saw Cosmo from the beginning to the show, later in the show, 2 different Cosmos.
Really?
Cosmo was coherent,
in the beginning,
smart.
Really?
In the beginning of the show.
Really?
And then later on, it's like, did you have a brain transplant?
Interesting. I wonder, I'm so curious when it comes to shows and they make a lot of these changes. Did they like sit people down in a room and they're like, what do you think is working? What do you think is not working?
Maybe.
And also, what audience are they? Because I'm trying to think, what audience are they trying to hit?
Yeah.
With changing Cosmo's intelligence.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Okay. The next one is Hey Arnold.
We love Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, I think, will have to be my favorite show.
I'm still on SpongeBob.
See, so the reason why I like Hey Arnold versus SpongeBob is because Hey Arnold to me gave me more depth.
Absolutely.
And I think for me, going back and rewatching Hey Arnold, you have a lot more depth. It could also just be because SpongeBob has so much.
SpongeBob has so much, and I can't watch the entire thing.
Exactly.
Hey Arnold, I could watch the same thing top to bottom, and I'm like,
right?
Oh my God.
And each time you watch it, I feel like
you pick up something new.
Pick up something new, and it hits so, like, as the more we grow and like the older we get, I feel like Hey Arnold hits differently because you're seeing it as you're getting older from the adult perspective, right? Like you're looking at it from the child's perspective and it's already deep, but then when you see it from the adult's perspective, you're like, wow, this is so much.
Yeah.
And there was so much more that could have been developed. Like I did a deep dive into Hey Arnold, and I think you did the same about how the show, there was so much more that could have been tackled with the show because the creators of the show wanted the show to grow up with their audiences. Yeah. And I could see that, and I wanted that.
And it was crazy because it was supposed to be Helga as the main character, right? That's wild. And her family, the Patakis or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be called the Patakis because pretty much the last episode that was made for the entire show's series was Arnold finally found a sort of like box. His grandparents finally showed him a box left by his parents, and he found a letter or a note that showed where his parents were last seen, because his parents effectively just went missing. They went on an exploration and never came back. And so that's where the show ended. And there was supposed to be a movie, and then from that movie they was going to introduce the like Patakis, because ultimately because they ended up being able to do the movie. Ultimately the movie was going to be
a send-off.
Arnold goes, he finds his parents, and then his parents are like, to make up for lost time, you should travel with us. And so Arnold decides to go. At that point, by the end, Arnold and Helga like confess their love for each other, but he's going off away, so they do a long distance relationship, and it kind of hits more on the themes on the fact that like Helga is the other child. Her sister is so much better than her. She's like, or like her
parents are a little shady.
Yeah, her parents think that her older sister's so much better than her. Her parents are kind of shady. She's the other daughter, and then the only person who really saw her and understood her is gone. And then her best friend Phoebe starts dating Gerald, so like they have a relationship, and she's just alone. And it was going to hit on a lot of themes of being alone and like depression. I would have eaten that up.
I would have eaten it with a spoon.
Eaten it up.
Please.
And that's the reason why I would say this one was my favorite show on Nickelodeon, because it had so much depth.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where it's like, even having this conversation, I want to go and rewatch Hey Arnold.
It's so good.
I want to rewatch it
so
good.
Bad. You see, I still stick with SpongeBob as my favorite because comedy, it's hard to compare comedy versus like deep heart-filled stuff.
Yeah.
But comedy, SpongeBob was on another level.
It was on another level. So. Okay. So we have Cat Dog.
Cat Dog, you see, the thing that bothered me about Cat Dog, the cat was so annoying.
It never made sense to me. Did you see the episode where they met the parents?
No.
It was like the Abominable Snowman or one of them.
What?
Or Bigfoot was the mom, and then it was pretty much things that like where people would find it hard to believe existed. Yeah. That was the parents.
Oh my God.
Because nobody would believe there would be such thing as a cat dog.
Oh my, that's so crazy.
Anyway, quickly going through, I'm going to make selections.
Oh, don't make selections. Just say them and move on, girl.
Okay, Rugrats and All Grown Up.
Of course,
classics.
Classic.
I have my qualms with the character design, but we can talk about that offline. They changed Tommy Pickles. But Susie Carmichael will forever and always be that girl.
Period.
The Angry Beavers.
I like the Angry Beavers.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember fully what it was about outside of the fact there were just two brothers that were always fighting.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Now that you mention it, I don't remember what it was about. I just remember enjoying it.
Yeah.
But they were always trying to get something done, and one of them was smart, and the other one was dumb or something.
Ren and Stimpy.
I loved me some Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy was it again, but also Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain. They really like that concept. They love dumb, smart.
Same with Cat Dog. Interesting.
All the time.
Right?
And Ren and Stimpy, if you go back and watch that, I don't think we should have been watching that as children. It's very inappropriate.
Same thing with All Monsters. Same thing with Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Because I went back and watched some of Ren and Stimpy, and I was like, I should not have been watching this, but it's good.
Yeah. See, I think a lot of these shows, people have been saying this as well as like older Disney films, they were making it for both their child and adult audience. And I think that's another thing that I liked about older shows is there was an intricacy to them where it's like there's a rewatch value to it. Like there's a different... Same thing like we were just saying with Hey Arnold. The more that you watch it as you get older, the more that you get out of it. And I think it's with a lot of these other shows. It's just some of them are more crude than others.
Yep.
So we already talked about all that. Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom. He's a phantom. Oh. I love Danny Phantom.
It was really good.
It was really good. And that was a show that I remember I was sat for any single time an episode came out. I believe there might be one movie that has like escaped me. And I only think that because I remember like going on a deep dive on it. And I'm like, I don't remember any of this happening. And it all ties to a movie. So I need to rewatch it. But I was sat. I was sat. My only qualm about Danny Phantom was they used the black woman ghost hunter as a plot point to get to his ultimate love interest, which was Sam.
They do that a lot in all different media. They'll like use a black woman or any minority person, but typically a black person, and they would use them as like an obstacle to get to the true love interest.
And I did not like that. But outside of that, Danny Phantom was, again, a cool concept. Like a 14-year-old kid who went into a like...
Who thinks of that?
I don't know. Bring them back, though. I want more shows like this. Bring it back. We have Rocket Power and the Wild Thornberries.
Ooh! Rocket Power. And also, I grew up in a beach area. So that hit a little bit different.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I didn't skateboard or surf. It just hit a little bit different. Because I'm like, the beach is right there.
Right. Yeah. That was a good show. I really liked that show. And I also like the idea of the Wild Thornberries. Because, again, it was one of those shows that on the surface, it gave,
just like random,
but like
or whatever that kid sound.
But like more in the deeper, the fact that he was adopted, he didn't know like he was raised by, I think the Thornberries found him as a baby, and he has a whole life that nobody knows about. And then the whole fact that the I forget her name, but the daughter speaks to animals. The heck,
and her monkey pet. Yeah, and he was like intelligent.
Yes. But he was only intelligent to her because she could understand them. Zoe 101.
Zoe 101. It made me want to go to boarding school.
Did it really?
It did. Did I ask my parents? No.
Okay.
But it made boarding school look fun.
I think it was the concept of like not having parents around.
Yeah.
It really felt like the kids could do whatever they wanted.
Honestly.
Anytime, all the time. All the time. So we talked about Rocko's Modern Life. Now we have some of the we have Jimmy Neutron.
Ooh.
Brain Blast.
And then you remember all the collaborations that
the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron did?
I always want to call Fairly Odd Parents Timmy Turner.
Yeah, but that's the name of the character.
Yeah.
Timmy and Jimmy
Neutron. Yes. So
those were good. That was really creative.
Pretty good.
I feel like that. I don't know what came first. If the Nickelodeon crossovers came first, or the Disney Channel crossovers.
What were the Disneyland?
That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana. So That's So Raven, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Hannah Montana. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And they did another one as well.
I don't know.
Right?
That's chicken and an egg situation.
It was very interesting to see those. I want to gloss over this one because the people presently are trifling, but Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. It was a show at the time that it was a show, but now they're doing too much.
Let me tell you. I enjoyed that show.
I liked it.
How old are we? We're too old. That show does not need to be rebooted.
No.
Back in the day, I could have seen it. College,
Well, no, they were in middle school.
I know when they were in middle school, but if they did like a college reboot where they were in college, you guys are not college age anymore.
Not anymore.
It's over. I don't want it, and I like that show.
Yeah. It was good.
It was good.
Comparatively to other shows, it wasn't the strongest, but it was good.
It was good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed the little plot lines, but it wasn't that good for you to be making a remake however many years later. Yeah. How long ago were we in middle school?
Years.
We don't need
years.
We don't need it. I'm so sorry, babies. Yep.
Okay. The last few on the list that we haven't said yet are Invader Zim.
Did you watch Invader Zim?
I did indeed.
I love me some Invader
That one was
Zim.
another one that didn't make sense to me.
What?
Yeah. I was just confused by the plot.
You should give it a rewatch. You might understand it this time. Yeah. Because it's really good. Okay. It's really good. And I think the overall premise is Zim is an invader.
And he's
he's trying to he's on Earth because he wants to take over Earth. There's like a big home world, whatever situation. So he's trying to take over the Earth, but his next door neighbor or whatever, the little boy, sees right through him. He's like, you're an alien immediately. Yes. And so it's just them fighting each other because Zim keeps coming up with plots to take over the world. And the other one thwarts it every single time.
Did they end up being friends eventually?
They might have worked together. But that boy is so he's so not neurotypical, the opposite. He's very like anxious and like intense. And so I don't think he could ever be friends with that guy. Yeah, okay. Neurodivergent.
Got it.
He's too, I don't think they could ever be friends because he's like, you're an alien and you're trying to run the world. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Okay. I need to write down a list. This is going to help me build my list of shows to rewatch. Okay. And the last two are Real Monsters and Doug.
That's one of the theme songs where you don't need words.
That's true.
But it's still so good that we don't skip.
Yes.
That one's a good one.
But there's few. They're few and far between.
But yeah, I love me some Doug. That's one of those shows you could put it on and it's very so calming. Chill.
Yep.
Relaxing, and then you would learn something about life because he was always going through it.
Yes.
Period.
Truly. But yeah, that covers at least this list of Nickelodeon shows. Yeah. But like with Disney, you brought up Dave the Barbarian. Are there any Nickelodeon shows that didn't make this list that you watched and really enjoyed?
I think I'm trying to think if there was more. I think I'm thinking of like the more recent ones. Did you ever watch that? It's like a newer one, so probably not. It was like a Loud Family or something. Loud House.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
I watched that newer. A little bit. That's it. That's the only one that I'm thinking of outside of my head for.
Mucha Lucha? Was that Nickelodeon?
Oh, Mucha Lucha. I think that was Nickelodeon. I like that one. Was good. I barely remember what that one's about, but I remember being.
I just remember it was
revved
like
up by
luchadors.
Luchadors.
And it was like a kid who
wanted to be one.
Yeah, well, he was technically he was like a super. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking El Tigre.
Oh, yeah. El Tigre.
Mucha Lucha, I think, might have been Disney Channel. And then El Tigre might have been Nickelodeon.
Yes. And I remember watching both of those.
Yes. But I think I was, for Mucha Lucha, I was about to give the plot of El Tigre. Yeah. But El Tigre, he was a superhero who was a luchador. Like he had I think.
Yeah, luchador. And he would put on a costume and go. Yeah.
So I can't remember what Mucha Lucha was about, though. It's escaping me.
I feel like it was luchadors too, like fighting. Yeah. I don't really remember.
I really appreciate that representation though, because I would have never known anything about luchador and lucha fighting.
Not at all.
Or would have never known.
Every once in a while, I'll be scrolling and I see it on TikTok and I'm like, yeah, fight.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other shows as well that explore different cultures that I appreciated about the time. And again, I'm not the target audience, but I don't really see that much of it now. Yeah. And so I don't know where it's going.
Where is it at?
But anyway, are you ready for we saved the best for last? Yeah. So I will say I'm going to have to scroll through because this is the best. This is where the 90s and 2006 and cartoon shows were. But I'll just scroll through so we can get the Cartoon Network. So we have Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Ed, Edd and Eddy. Can we talk about that intro theme to that one?
What was the intro theme to Ed, Edd and Eddy?
Wow. Woo. Like it was like jazz.
That was pretty good. Okay. I'm actually impressed.
Thank you.
That was good.
But it's so good.
It was good.
It was like the jazz intro and we'd be like, before the show started.
Do you know something that is embarrassing that took me a long time to realize about Ed, Ed and Eddie? Whoa. So I never understood, right? It was Ed. The show's called Ed, Ed and Eddie. Mm-hmm. But there would be Ed, Eddie, and Double D. Mm-hmm. And it took me forever to realize that the reason why his name was Double D is because his name is Ed and there's 2 D's in his name. I never got it. It took me so long to understand. It is embarrassingly long. Like I was in high school. I was in high school when I was talking to somebody about it, and I was like, "Yeah, Double D, Ed, and Double D," and they were like, "Yeah," and I'm like, I never understood like who's the third Ed.
Oh my god. Okay, that's bad.
Hey, you know,
that's bad.
I never read it. Right? I just heard Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Right? And then the show was Ed, Eddie, and Double D. Anyway, moving on. They have Pokemon on here. Pokemon was on Cartoon Network.
Oh, yeah.
It was on Cartoon Network. That's where I was introduced. You know, Pokemon is considered the first introduction to anime for a lot of people.
I believe that.
Because people don't even realize it's anime until later.
Yeah. And also, I would like to say for a segue for Pokemon, did you ever watch Toonami on Adult Swim?
Maybe.
So Toonami they would normally have it on Saturdays, and Adult Swim, it comes on Cartoon Network, but after hours, like after 9 p.m. or whatever. And they would normally play adult shows, but on Saturdays they would play anime. And so you could watch Dragon Ball Z, you could watch Bleach, Dragon Ball Z. You can watch like all of those random shows. Oh, I didn't know
Bleach was on television.
Bleach.
Oh
yes,
my gosh.
Toonami. That's the only way I watched Bleach was through that. And so Bleach was my jam. Inuyasha. They used to play that on there.
I'm surprised.
There was a few shows that they would just play on Saturdays for Toonami. But yeah.
Okay.
Fun
I
fact.
did watch Dragon Ball Z, and I think Naruto was Cartoon Network.
Naruto, yes.
Yes. I thought for the longest time, Naruto was my first anime because that was the first show that I saw I saw the English dub, but then I saw the Japanese version, and that's how I knew. But I found out later in life that Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z both were Japanese animes that were dubbed to put
Sailor Moon.
See, I watched Sailor Moon in elementary school. It's just like I have no idea.
You just don't know.
No idea. Okay, ready for this one?
I'm scared.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I had to do my best scream for Courage.
Yeah. Booga, 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 booga. That show is literally one of the most creative concepts ever. What do you mean? It's a dog that's like sentient and understands what's going on, and its like whole thing is like fighting off monsters to save the elderly woman who saved like abandoned as a pup.
It's found by Muriel, who lives in the middle of nowhere.
I love that opening. And again,
every time.
Literally, tell me what the show's about. That's all I want.
That's
from an
all
opening.
I want.
Tell me. Oh my God. And that show, the think pieces on that show, I went on a dive. Have you heard the think piece that the reason why Courage lives in the middle of nowhere and the show is the way that it is because it's from the dog's perspective? That he doesn't know anything outside of his 4 walls. So it's like, he might have neighbors, but he's an indoor dog because his owner is elderly. She can't really take him on walks. And like dogs don't fully understand and comprehend like the things that are in front of them. So he could see everybody as a threat because he's a guard dog. And seeing all of that, I'm just like, whoa.
And like those episodes, they hit on another level. Do you remember the episode where they hit on domestic violence?
No.
You don't remember this?
No.
So good. You might remember it and you just aren't putting it in context. It was the one where someone knocks on their door. I'm pretty sure I might be misremembering the details, but someone knocks on their door and it's this lady and she has like a mask on. It's like a white mask and then it has like a face on it, like a normal face on the white mask. And then she's accompanied by like a cat and the cat's her like best friend and they're trying to run away from this dog. And this dog is like super buff and big. And so it's basically like the white mask person was dating the big dog guy. And she was like trying to run away and get away from him. And he's kind of like tracking her down. And like that's the premise. There's more in there and da da da. But like that one, it was kind of hidden on like domestic violence vibes, and so like they got deep. So I remember that episode was really good. Which, you know, at this point we're gonna do a rewatch.
We are.
Period.
Yes.
And then there was also another one of my. This is one of my favorite episodes.
Okay.
From Courage Cowardly Dog. We'll see what your favorite is, but mine. Naughty. Do you remember that episode?
Why was I thinking about the episode? Because that's the one with the pancakes, right? Where he was feeding her the pancakes?
Yes.
Why would literally telepathy? Because as you were explaining the domestic violence one, that was playing in my head.
Naughty.
You do that really well. That's kind of scary.
That guy was so creepy.
Yes.
Absolutely creepy.
Yes.
And then he was obsessed with shaving everybody.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, I remember
he shaved the pancakes.
He shaved the pancakes. We were seeing the past flashbacks, and he was shaving like these random people, and it's like, bro, are you okay?
No,
and it was
not.
A homegirl's uncle. I was like, bro, if you don't get that crazy out of here, that's what Courage was saying. If you don't get this hoe out of here,
Muriel, please.
Like, please, Muriel, I don't want to be shaved. But yeah, that's my favorite episode from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
See, for me, I can't think of my favorite episode, but the episode that's forever ingrained in my brain. Return the slab
or suffer my curse.
I hate that episode.
King Ramses, the Madagascar, the Madagascar. Do you remember the song?
No, I do not.
That was the song that was playing. That was one of his curses.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes! I remember the locusts.
Yes, the locusts.
But yeah, that one terrified me as a child. That one, and then the one where it was like the woman who lived in a puddle.
That one, I was like, bro, I was looking at that bathtub like, you aren't getting me today. You aren't getting me today.
That show scarred me, but I loved it.
I loved it. Every second.
Oh my God.
And his freaking computer that would talk back to him.
Yeah, that was funny. His British computer, random.
He was so mean to him.
Which is so funny. But yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog was a classic Cartoon Network show. Continuing on the list, we have Dexter's Laboratory or Dexter's Laboratory.
Get out of my laboratory.
Did you know that Dexter's Laboratory had a trans character?
Who?
Oh, what was the name? It was the other boy that was his nemesis.
Rival. What was that? I feel like it started with an N. I can't remember.
I thought it started with an M.
M.
Yes. I can't remember, but I was also again on TikTok, and they were talking about how they always referred to the child as a female.
Oh.
And they would use like she, her pronouns, and
yeah, I want to put 2 and 2 together. Again,
social media is that girl.
But yeah, that show, the one that I remember from that one is the one where he falls asleep listening to a French learning disc, whatever.
Yes.
And the only thing he can say is omelette du fromage.
Wait, didn't he become fluent?
No.
Oh.
All he could say, like everything, the only thing he could say is omelette du fromage. Dexter, say it again, Dexter.
Right.
Say it. Omelette du fromage.
See, because they also had shows where they would like you fall asleep on top of like a book and you'd wake up.
Yeah.
You know, I tried that once.
I thought it was real.
So I definitely, when I tried to study, I was like, maybe this could work. I'd fall asleep on the book, didn't learn anything.
Nothing.
Not a singular thing. Okay, we have Johnny Bravo.
Man, I'm pretty.
See, yeah, that one is a show for me that had no plot.
Yeah, I don't think there was a plot in there. He was just roaming around each day, harassing people.
A dumb blonde. It literally says the misadventures of a dumb blonde.
He is pretty dumb.
Who severely overestimates his own manliness and his supposed success with women.
Yeah. It's accurate.
Ooh. Codename Kids Next Door. Ooh. Now that was a show.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows like that and like Harry Potter that made me wish that I was going to get a note in the mail that said your
time has come.
Yes. Never came.
Never.
And for both of them, I've aged out.
Mm-hmm.
So never
if you were trying to pick me up as a wizard, I'm too old.
Hey, but I'm still willing to do something. You just got to pay well and give me benefits. Hey, I got a cat to feed.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do. But that was a really good show.
Yes.
The Adventures of a Group. It says the adventures of a group of 10-year-old friends who fight for the right to do everything that adults restrict from them.
That one, I was like, sign me up for sure.
I also had like a lot of questions about it because the whole thing is just like once you reach a certain age, they like wipe your memory. But I'm like, why though? Like,
it's because eventually you turn into an adult and you'll bring the organization down.
See, but like, did you see that movie about Zero? Like they found like the kid next, the original,
yeah,
and it ended up being number one's dad.
Yeah,
and he was just like, when they like unbrainwashed him, he was like, I'm a kid at heart type thing. I'm just like, I feel like you could say that about a lot of adults, but you know that
Yep.
I would believe defeat the purpose of the entire show. So but that was just a loophole for me.
Yeah,
where I'm like, why? Like, you're literally creating your enemies by wiping your memory. Anyway, the Powerpuff Girls. Another show that gave you everything that you need to know.
Yeah.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
And Chemical X.
Yes. Right?
You see, but I'm scared of those girls. They be beating people up.
They do.
I'm like, Mojo Jojo.
I feel bad for Mojo Jojo.
I feel bad for him. He just got abandoned and he's
really
mad.
Did. He is mad.
And every time they see him, it's on sight.
Really
they jump him every time. He's like, I didn't even do anything. And his brain is out of his head.
Always. He must have brain damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I were to go back, they need to bring Mojo Jojo back home, and he needs to be a part of that family because that's really sad.
That's really messed up.
It's really sad.
It's really messed up.
You did an experiment on him, and then you tossed him to the side.
And your daughters beat him up
every day.
Every day. They don't even throw him in jail. They just beat him up. Damn.
And he's just alone.
He's alone in the world.
Okay, I want to move on. That makes me so sad. We have Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
That one's good.
What a wonderful idea.
Yes.
The fact that everybody has an imaginary friend, but what happens to your imaginary friend when you don't need them anymore?
Did you have an imaginary friend as a child?
I don't want to talk about it.
Your imaginary friend was in that home. It was in that home. And everybody was like, ugh. What the hell is that?
Did you have one?
No, I've never had an imaginary friend.
Lucky you. People actually liked you as a kid. You didn't talk to
They did.
That's so mean.
I mean, it's the truth.
Okay, moving on. Anyway, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, quality show. Yes. I like the fact that like Glorilla sampled cheese. His name is Cheese.
I like chocolate milk.
That character though, so annoying.
So annoying.
So annoying.
Topeka.
I
still love him though.
Drop kick him. What was the name of the lady who was really, really ugly? Like she was 2-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. She looked like one of those fancy paintings.
Yes.
I don't remember her name. It was like, now I'm getting Chowder confused.
Chowder was a good one.
I was about to say Endive, but that's the
Chowder,
the ugly lady in that show.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Chowder was a good show.
I feel like it was Miss something. Like she had an honorific before her name.
She did. What I wanted to see more from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, and they touched on it a little bit, was who created each of the imaginary friends. Because we knew Mac, because Mac never wanted to get rid of Blue, right? And I really like that concept of like what happens when you get older and like your family is telling you that you need to move on, you need to make friends. Because he didn't really have, at least from what we saw, he didn't have any friends outside of Blue the imaginary friends and then like Madam Foster and like Frankie and them.
Yep.
But that movie with Will, the like really tall basketball player, I loved that we saw like we got his whole backstory and we saw his friend, the person who created him, and he ended up being,
of course we already knew that.
Yes, of course. But I like that. I like that idea of seeing where they came from and their origin stories. And I think that might have been more as I got older. Because as a kid, you don't really care. You just want the antics. But like, I wish that we got more of that with Foster's. it had a lot of potential. It did what it needed to do, but it had a lot of potential.
Can we talk about Chowder real quick?
Yeah.
That, first of all, the intro song is fire. You take the moon and you take the sun. You take everything that seems like fun. You start all up and then you're done. Rada, 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 rada. Do you remember this?
You don't remember that show. I remember the show. I don't remember the opening song.
That intro is so good because all the characters are singing it. And so you get to do the voices with each character.
The rada, rada, rada.
The rada, rada is crazy. But yeah, that intro was so good. And then I just remember it was so fun that there were chefs and they were just cooking the entire time. Entertainment at its finest.
And you know Chowder Adjacent? The Flapjacks?
That was my show.
Was it really?
That was my show. I enjoyed that show a lot. And that says a lot about me, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Because it was creepy.
Really much so. Very much so.
I'm still looking for Candy Island.
You're never going to find it.
And you see, this is also why I like SpongeBob, because they would always have those like gross out zoom up with like the random scream in the background.
Yep.
Like, that's me. That's my brain.
That's your sense of humor.
It's my sense of humor.
100%. Okay, finishing off this list because we have a couple left.
Okay.
We have Samurai Jack.
Oh my God.
A show.
I need to watch the new ones that they made.
We need to put together a list of shows.
We do. Samurai Jack, that had
honestly
plot.
Though, we just finished From season 3. We should do animated stuff.
We should.
And do a rewatch of these shows.
Because Samurai Jack
was good.
Plot.
Drama. And the fact that it's done. They brought it back to finish it.
Wow.
We have to finish it.
Yeah, we gotta watch that one.
We have to finish it. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I love the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Your humor.
Good. That's my humor.
That is your humor to a core, to a T. If you want to know Chanel's sense of humor, it's the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Honestly,
if you watch that, you would get Chanel's humor 100%.
That's me. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've rewatched that. It still holds up for me.
I need to rewatch it. I do. I went through it. I liked some episodes. Like, I loved Mandy. I loved Grimm. I didn't like Billy.
You see, here's the thing.
Or is it Bill and Mandy or Billy and Mandy? Billy and
Mandy. Here's the thing. When I was younger, I didn't like Billy. Now that I'm older, I find him funnier.
Okay.
So that might be a thing. So.
Alrighty. And the last one on this list, Camp Lazlo.
Camp Lazlo. I also really enjoyed that show.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, did you ever finish that show?
No, I don't think so.
The last episode is crazy.
Is it something that I can just watch the last episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you know the premise, right? You've
Yes.
seen the show before. Just watch the last episode. It's insane.
Okay.
I was like, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Do that. Do that.
But okay, so is there now similar to all the other channels, because that's just the list, and I'm sure there's much more. Like, Teen Titans, right?
Oh yeah,
that was Cartoon Network, and again, I could go on a whole rant on Teen Titans because it was such a quality television show.
Plot.
Again, had the intro song where they sang and told me everything I needed to know. That's a show. I feel like we should talk a little bit about remakes and like bringing shows back, because there's certain shows like Samurai Jack, which I haven't watched it. But I feel like they do it well by staying true to the show.
Finishing it out.
Obviously, like the character design and the way things are drawn are going to be different because time, like the way they made shows in the past was like
non-existent anymore.
So I feel like, again, based off the reception that I've seen, they did a great job. But something like Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans was so formative in my childhood. Like, I would have to rank it up there as one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows. And that movie, like Trouble in Tokyo, I think is what it was called, was so well done. And then they like left so much open with the developing of romance between Robin and Starfire, and then so many shows and like live actions were like made based off of that. And of course they're comics and whatever, but then people wanted that show to come back for years, to pick up after that movie. They get all the old actors together and they do Teen Titans Go,
which is awful.
It's just, it's more like Teen Titans was more serious, hard hitting, and Teen Titans Go is like comedy. Right? So I have qualms with a lot of remakes. I feel like remakes nowadays kind of take away the true essence of a show and try to make it more humorous.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just like where television and media is going, because I feel that way about a lot of Marvel. I feel like Marvel now is trying to hit more on like making action comedy when like, I don't know if you watch the Thor films.
I don't even think I've seen a single one.
Okay. They started more serious, and the most recent one that I've seen was like Thor Ragnarok, and that was just
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if you have like opinions or thoughts on like remakes of shows. Or I guess my question would be, if you could pick a show to remake and the remake was done well, what show would you remake? Would you get remade, and why, or continued?
That is a good question. Hey, Arnold.
Yeah.
That was already set up for me.
Yeah, that was set up. Okay.
I want to see the Patakis.
I would love to see the Patakis, but okay, pick a show that wasn't set up. Like if you could take one and continue it.
A show that I would want to continue. That's a very good question. Off the top of my head, because I know in Disney Channel they're like remaking Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yes.
And I know they remade Girl Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
And now it's Girl Meets World.
That one got canceled though.
Yeah, but a remake. And I'm like, I've never really liked those, so I don't think it would be anything live action.
No.
And
Can you imagine like a live action Courage?
That would not work.
They're trying to do it with Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah, they are doing that. Yeah, I'm not into those either. All the Disney remake, like the Little Mermaid. I didn't watch any of them. I'm not into it.
I think the biggest issue is it takes away what made the show.
Yeah.
And then again, it's sad to say, but like a lot of the things that were in that show would not fly today. And that's kind of what held the essence of the show. The shows were crude. Like the jokes, some of them, the jokes just were like, they weren't PC.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're going to try to take that and modernize it, you're going to take away like some of the essence of the show. I'm like, you could like parse through it. Right. And find things that are wholesome and like can hold true. But I feel like that's kind of what is lost, because they're trying to modernize it to now.
Yeah.
And that's not what the show was based in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. With that being said, I don't know if I could choose anything, because my dilemma is, one, if they're remake it, it's going to look different and I'm already going to be out.
Yes.
And then number two, probably the story writing is not going to be as strong. So like, for example, if you give me some more episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, I won't complain. But if it's bad, I'm going to complain.
Right.
So
Might as well not touch it.
Might as well not touch it. So I feel like I'm of the camp of let's not touch it and let's come up with something new that's at that same quality that we had back in the day. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like, of course, we're not the target audience anymore. I'm not sitting here watching children's shows anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there was something special in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s.
And I agree with you. It just had that little sparkle and that twinkle.
Twinkle.
And I don't think, again, we aren't the target audience, but I find it hard to believe that there are shows that are out now that would give me the same excitement to discuss and have a whole podcast episode reminiscing. And we only hit on 3 major networks. There's so many other shows on different networks. Because you grew up saying that you watched shows off of HBO, and then we had PBS Kids. Those were formative years for us.
ABC Family. What was it? WB Kids? WB?
Yes.
And like the CW. Yeah.
So many shows that like raised us.
Yes.
And I feel like you can't say the same for a lot of these shows, because I feel like there's some sort of foundation that's out of them.
And also, I think the problem is, number one, a lot of these like heads of places who make these decisions on what's going to be made,
yes,
they don't want to take any chances anymore.
Right.
They just want to put out something that's going to be successful. It's going to be a sequel part 30,000, and we're just going to stick to that.
Yes.
We're going to keep doing the same thing. Or another aspect is that there's more competition. There's YouTube shows now.
Yes.
And made by some random people. And a lot of times those shows, they're not vetted.
Yes.
And they can be very dangerous and like not good for children's brains and all that stuff. But it's competition nonetheless. And they don't care. So they're going to put out, what's the the most crazy thing that we can make to just keep children's attention. We don't care if it damages their brain. We don't care anything. We don't care if we're telling them to kill their own parents or do crazy stuff.
Right.
As long as it keeps their attention and we get money from that.
Yeah.
Boom. And so now the iPad kids, they're just watching YouTube instead of watching TV networks. So they're like, I think at a certain point they're going to be like, what's the point of even making children's television?
Right. And to that point as well, like social media is making it difficult to watch like content. Like it's either something that you're able to watch in 10 minutes or it's a movie, right? Yeah. So that 30-minute like quick show is not really much of a target just because you have either social media, which you can scroll through and like skip through, or you have
long form. Yeah.
So a lot has changed.
Yes.
I miss the past. I miss the shows of the past.
I know.
I miss singing the songs and letting the shows telling me exactly. I'm going to keep saying that. Shows that tell me what's going on in the intro are the shows that the only shows
That's how
I
you're
want
gonna
to watch.
start watching shows.
Yeah.
Do you tell me what the entire plot is in the first 3 seconds through this song?
Let's move on.
I'm turning it off.
Yeah. But no, this is helping me as well. I want to go through, write a list, and rewatch those shows.
Yeah.
We're going to start first with Camp Lazlo just to get that last episode. And I think we should go next to Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, yeah. And then I always love a one-off Courage the Cowardly Dog episode.
We can sprinkle those in. I don't mind that.
Yes.
So we have a plan.
Yeah, we have a little plan.
I'm excited.
Yes.
But this was fun. I love going and talking about old TV shows because TV was my life.
Yeah, I feel like TV was every kid's life in the 90s.
In
2000s.
Crazy.
That's all we had.
Was it really? We had outside.
Yeah, we had outside, but I feel like that was the turning point where kids started going inside because that's when we started getting the internet slowly.
Right, it's true.
Slowly.
And then we started finding out that your neighbors were creepy. Keep your kids indoors.
Stranger danger.
Exactly.
Period.
Well, anyway, this was fun.
This was fun.
Have a good evening, Chanel.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Bye. Is someone knocking on my door? Hello? Open the door. Open the door. I'm filming a podcast right now. Goodbye.
Hi.
You want to say hi to the podcast?
No, thank you.
Okay, bye.